Okay.
But
You inspired me so much. We're actually going to do one this weekend. I figured, okay, well, if Lauren says I can do it, I can do it.
I'm going to send you my channel though, because another recording on that, I think, virtual open houses.
Okay.
I'm going to send you my whole channel of like all my videos. And I'm pretty sure I did one on virtual open houses, just that with Facebook.
Bless you. If you hadn't figured out, I'm the new,
before I forget.
I'm the new president of the Lauren Johnson fan club. So
I love that.
okay, thanks. I'll let you go to work.
Okay, thank you. All right, it is recording, right? Recording started. All right, a couple more minutes, like one more minute, and I'm gonna start because I gotta bust this out in an hour. Man, we had a lot of people sign up for this class, huh? All right. It is 3 o'clock. The computer says 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock, right? Okay. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna mute you guys just so there's no background noise. We only have an hour, so I really gotta get started on time today. For those that don't know me, my name is Lauren Johnson. I am the Southeast Marketing Manager. So what we're gonna talk about is social media today. I know that's a big hot topic for you guys. So I'm really gonna share my slides. I'm gonna try to see if I can leave time for Q&A, but if not, I will just leave my email and contact information in the chat. Fortunately, I have a meeting I have to go to right after this. This was a tight day for me, but you can be more than welcome to reach out to me with any questions that you have. I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can. So without further ado, let's get started. I know we're tight here, and I wanna always make sure that I give you guys as much information as I can. Okay, so here, social media. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And we are recording this. So I will leave the recording in the chat. If you don't find it, just send me an email and I'll send it to you, okay? Okay, so social media. So really what I'm talking about today is lead generation versus lead nurturing. This is very different things, and I think a lot of agents get this confused on how to go about both of these things. So a few facts and stuff I wanna just cover is social media as we know it is reduced cost for 45% of business. This is a huge thing, guys. And if you're not on social media, you really have to get on it. You know, I look at social media as a lead generation, but also really as just a way of a presence for you. You know, really that's where people check on who you are now, and they try to connect with you on the social media. So this is the things with social media. That's why it's so important. Businesses grew by 24% using social media. Almost 68% of businesses use social media to generate leads. In 2018, I mean, imagine what that is now. Biggest social media barrier for 77% of businesses, limitation and lead improvement. And this is huge too, guys, because I get a lot of questions, and I used to do a lot of digital marketing. I'm telling you, I've done Google ads, I've done pay-per-click, I've done Facebook, and by hands down, Facebook is always still leading. This right here is a huge fact. 200, it costs a lead, costs $2.50 on Google and only 80 cents on Facebook. This is why I still push Facebook all the time. I am a big advocate because still, even with social media, and I know Instagram's getting popular and everything's getting popular with Instagram right now, Facebook is still leading because Facebook has every single demographic on it. Instagram only has the millennials really right now. That's the hot thing, are the millennials on there. But Facebook has your grandparents on there, has your parents on there, and they follow everyone. It's still Facebook is hot, and still Facebook has a lot of advantages that Instagram doesn't. So we're going to talk about that today too. So lead generation, this is really obviously, this is a lead is simply an address, a phone number. So this is when you're collecting their contact information. Okay, this is why I want to actually just make sure that you're aware of the differences here. Social media is a highly relevant way to gather leads. You could do both types of marketing, including organic or paid on social media platforms. This is when you do like paid ads. Organic is anything free, so you're just posting and generating any kind of things on that. Marketers can also promote content through groups and communities. This is the benefit with Facebook, guys. This is where Facebook comes in handy that other platforms don't have. You could search a specific group or community and target in there. You could search neighborhoods in there, like search that stuff and see if there's groups or communities already out there. A lot of times what happens is when you search these, you'll see that there's thousands of people in these groups that you could go and target. If you just join the group, you can now target that if you're a member. Just be aware because a lot of them do have realtors sometimes have started these groups. Most of the times when you join these groups, they'll give you a kind of rundown of what you can and can't do in there as far as posting. And if you see anything about posting, don't post real estate, then you know it's owned by a realtor. Just move on to the next group. What I always say is, look, post and ask forgiveness later. What's the worst that can happen is they basically delete and take down your post, or they don't approve it. Post, because a lot of these groups, I was just in one here, I'm in Miami office right now. I looked up a group, it was Pinecrest General. It was 7,000 members in there. If I'm able to get into that group, that's 7,000 people I'm able to get in front of. Like, that's huge. I know of a Weston one. They have a Weston group, Weston and Beyond. I know that's not done by a realtor. That's over 3,000 members last I saw. I think it's even higher now. But just stuff like that, just getting in front of those types of things. And this is not for posting like your stuff. Don't post just listed, just sold. Be somebody who's giving knowledgeable information. Talk about what's happening in the real estate market. Talk about, some new things that are happening in the community. That's what's going to help you then be the person to go to and show your knowledge in there. So lead nurturing, this is once you gather a lead, this is basically what do you do with it? So this is a huge thing because this is where I see a lot of people don't know what their process is. So you have to know what your lead process is. Okay, it's not about just capturing the lead. It's what are you going to do with it when you have it? Because here's the reality. Sometimes you have to nurture a lead for a year before it actually converts. So this is knowing your sales process. This is knowing, okay, once I get a lead, what am I going to do with it? I sat with an agent last week and she literally had 7,000 people in her InTouch, didn't do anything with them. You have to have these people on drip campaigns. So what I always tell people is, look, you got to have a sales drip campaign. You got to have a buyer drip campaign. You probably have a past client and sphere drip campaign, at least those three. Then you can even talk about other things, like some people have investors drip campaign or stuff like that. But you got to have these drip campaigns because your marketing message is going to be different for each person. Your buyer should not be getting the same message as your seller. For example, Caldwell Banker has a program, Real Vitalize. If you guys don't know what Real Vitalize is, learn what it is. This program is amazing and it's growing and growing and growing. I just had an agent that sold a $3.5 million home using Real Vitalize. It's a great, great program. This basically allows for them to not have to put out any money up front. That's a program that I would put on a seller drip campaign. That's something a seller needs to know about. A buyer does not even know about that campaign or that product. So that's my point. So think about this, when social media channels allow all nurturing leads by smart remarketing strategies, marketings can collect leads and then remarket to them. So that's why you're constantly making sure that you're keeping them on drip campaigns. There's a NAR statistic out there. I don't know the actual things. I know it's high. It's something like the satisfaction of people are with their realtor. They were like 96% satisfied with their realtor. But the amount that people use that same realtor in their next purchase or their next sale was very drastically different, like 30 or 40%. Why? Because the realtor didn't stay in touch with them. So that's the importance of then having them on those drip campaigns. So you're constantly sending them something. So they're being aware that you're still in the business, you're still around, that type of thing. So the other thing is you could use polls, videos, forms right on the platform to send personalized message. And we're going to talk about this, how you could do this. So before you convert a social media fan into paying customers, know your sales process. Okay, this is where you ask yourself, how are you going to nurture your relationship? How do you move through the various stages of your marketing funnel? Have a goal in mind. You know, if you want to convert the right social media leads, you must have a clear sales process. So that's saying, okay, if I have this lead, where am I going to put them? I'm going to put them on the seller drip campaign, or I'm going to put them on the buyer drip campaign. Then what? Am I going to send them a postcard? Maybe I get them a holiday message, but you guys have to have that in place. Okay, you got to have that in place of what you're doing with the lead the whole time. And don't ever take them off of your marketing. Let them unsubscribe. Okay, let them tell you they want to take off. Here, response time. This is huge. And unfortunately with agents, I don't know why you guys get a bad rap with you are apparently people have high expectations of you. They expect that because you're a realtor, I don't know why, but this happens. They expect you are immediately on your phone and always on your computer. So they expect an instant response. So look, this was an amazing statistic. I couldn't believe this when I saw this. It said agents who call within 5 minutes of initial engagement yield a 391% more interest than those who contacted the customer in 10 minutes. That's a difference of 5 minutes, guys. That's a difference of how huge that makes. Longer than 5 minutes, it's an 80% decrease in lead qualification. Just think of that, how huge that is. That's massive. Massive right there, difference. So that's why I say have the processes in place. If you can't make a lead or you can't make contact with the lead, have an instant thing that you can respond to them easily. Have an auto thing that goes out that says, okay, I'm at an open house right now, but I will get back to the minute I'm done. Some way that you're touching point with them immediately. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. These honestly, guys, these are the main things. Those are the main social media that I would recommend. I will tell you, Pinterest is kind of a hidden gem. Pinterest is something that you can easily set up. You could basically do an album for your listing and put a Pinterest album on there and have that link to your website. I would get leads from Pinterest. I'm not saying it's an end all be all, but it's something very easy. And if you actually look at the demographic of Pinterest, it's predominantly women. We all know that women are the ones that make the choices of the sale of the homes. But it's just, if you have a beautiful property, just make an album real quick on Pinterest. It's that easy. And you could direct it to your landing page on your website. But really the main ones are really Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Twitter is way too political. I wouldn't even go on Twitter right now. But if you did, you could with Twitter. These allow marketers to collect direct leads with targeted marketing to social media using the right platform. They don't have to click those ads and move to a landing page to fill out the form. So this is where they've actually created where these ads now, you could put a form behind it. So they call that gated content. Here's an example. This shows like what the ad was. It's an ebook. This is where you can offer them something free. Okay, so if you guys want to run an ad, you have to think of what do you respond to? Most of the time people respond to something free. So this could be a free home evaluation, a free buyer's guide, a free seller's guide, something that they're getting. Maybe you just do a free market report for a county, you know, maybe a Miami-Dade free market report or something like that. You got to offer them something. You're giving them something of content in order for them to click on that ad. So here's how it would work from your phone. This is basically the same type of ad. This is what it looks like. They're actually called lead generation ads. These are if you're running your own ads on Facebook. Facebook is great now because it links to Instagram. So if you run an ad, you get them on both platforms. But it allows for you to collect the lead information right in the ad. So you don't have to have a landing page. If you're not sure what the landing page is, so a landing page is basically anything that they can fill out a form and get their information. So it's where you're capturing their information on. So ideally a landing page is one page and it has a form in it. Now in Touch, you can do this. So in Touch, your sell page that you have is a landing page that has a form right there and it says, find out how much your home is worth. That's a landing page right there. You could create your own landing pages. It doesn't have the easiest way, but you can create your own landing pages in Touch. It's a two-step process. You basically can create the page, have a button to contact you, and then they go to the form. Ideally, you'd want a one-step process. But if you can't do that, if you don't have an ideal, this is a workaround, is to do the lead generation ads. They will put the form behind the ad. This is huge. I did not have this when I did a bunch of digital advertising. This is amazing. We would have to create tons of landing pages. So having this is great. So run contests on social media. This is another great idea. People love contests and people are bored right now, guys. They're over this COVID thing. They want to just do something online and they're looking for something. So there's two reasons businesses run contests. First, they get many leads that can benefit the business. The second, the participants at each contest can share it with more people. So this is a way to help you increase exposure for yourself. The only bad part about this is that the leads that you gathered may not be very qualified. So you're just getting random leads. It's not like if you're trying to get somebody for $1 million home that you're really qualifying them with a contest. But you will get leads and you never know what those leads can turn into. And if you're just going to stick them on some site or email campaign, then what do you really care? If you're just generating, you never know. But if you're paying, I'm going to tell you, if you're ever paying for an ad, you want that ad to be very, very clear that you're getting qualified ads. Because if I'm paying, I don't want anybody clicking on my ad unless they can pay for that house. So those are things to keep in mind when you're doing all these like ads and anything. So you got to filter relevant leads is essential in the lead nurturing process. So this is when you're going to know what group are you going to put them into. So this is where the process comes of vetting that lead and finding out, okay, what are they? Are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they an investor? Are they somebody who's like, they're not ready to buy for 6 months? Well, if they're not ready to buy for 6 months, you still got to put them on some sort of campaign that they're getting touch from you. So another way you could do generate leads is Instagram polls. So this is something that's free. It's easy. They're popular now. It ends up in your story. The benefit with the poll is that you can actually send direct messages to all the people that said yes. So they can actually see the individual results of the poll. So here's how this basically works. And this is like, I have to do this on screenshots. Instagram's so hard to show on a desktop. These are screenshots from your phone, basically. You create a story post. So you maximize the impact of the poll. Your story post should have some context related to the topic of the poll. You take a photo, create your text and background post for your story. You can add any filters, text. I wouldn't watch on the emojis because then it just looks cheesy. But leave room to add the poll. So then you tap on the sticker icon. That's a square on the face at the top of the story screen and select the poll sticker option. Okay, you see where it has like that poll right here, poll. And it basically gives you two options. So you have two questions or two answers. So it could either be like a yes or no poll or a red or blue or beach or mountains type of thing. Okay, so you can ask any question to your audience, so get creative. So what you guys can do, so you customize the poll responses. So you tap in each box, yes or no, or like this one shows pink or blue. You can provide at any text option up to 26 characters. Okay, but you're limited to 2 responses, like I said. The thing though with these polls, you got to keep in mind, okay, this goes on your story. Your story only lasts 24 hours. So don't do this if you have an open house the next day or you're not able to check those responses because you're going to lose that if after the 24 hours it goes away if you did not download those leads. Okay, so then once you finish customizing your poll, you tap on the check mark and it's done in the right-hand corner. The poll sticker will center the screen. This is where basically you can play around and drag the poll to center it, pinch it, make it bigger, smaller, that type of thing. You monitor your poll results. So this is kind of what it looks like. And this is what I mean by you got to monitor your poll results. Make sure you have the push notifications enabled. On Instagram will send notifications when someone votes. So you want to get those notifications. So then you're actually grabbing those to be taking those people and putting them into your sales funnel, put them into some drip campaign, something. So on the analytics page, tap on the eye icon for the post. You see the details for each person who viewed your post and who voted for which option in your poll. This is, again, you can see, remember the poll, again, this is where I say it disappears in 24 hours. It's best to set a reminder so that you log in and grab your poll results before the story expires. You see here, you see that 43 people looked at it, but 8 people voted, 2 voted no. But you can grab these people. It's like 8 leads in 24 hours. I mean, it's still good. I mean, it's not like, it's not huge, but it's still, you're getting 8 leads.
Lauren?
Wait, hold on. I'll leave questions at the end. So then here are some ideas for you, okay? So are you living in your dream home right now? Yes or no? On the next poll, you can ask, have you had any thoughts of selling your home in 2020? Yes or no? So these are just some ideas for you guys. And you could think about this, you could have this go as far as you want. Then you could follow up those who answered no to the first question and yes to the second question. This is then going to prompt you of like who's interested in selling their home, who's interested in buying possibly. Well, Instagram, BrandServe has templates like this for Instagram. These right here are right on BrandServe. You basically, here's a template right here, ask me anything. It says, I'll be answering questions for the next 24 hours, send them in. This can be a free open-ended question. Maybe you just want to talk about, ask me anything on the real estate market, you could put in there. That's a free open-ended question you can put in your Instagram story. There's also this template. It has this or that. This is where you can actually pick like, okay, do I want a wine cellar or do I want an outdoor kitchen? Do I want mountains or beach? It's just a poll response. And they already have these. These are, again, like I said, you could find these on BrandServe. Another idea is the small business shout out. This is huge, guys, and especially during this COVID time. This is a huge, huge thing with small businesses. Because already before this pandemic, it was great to tag any kind of restaurant, any kind of coffee shop. Those were huge when you did that on Instagram. Now it's even bigger because now you can actually, they have these templates and there's 4 of them. There's one horizontal in blue and there's a vertical one in white too. But you could then, maybe what you do with this is you could reach out to the business ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to write up the story about you. I'm going to do a shout out because I really like your business. I love going there. We go there all the time, blah, blah, blah. But then what you can say is, would you mind resharing it for me? Would you mind sharing it? And, tit for tat kind of thing. That's basically what it comes down to. And first of all, this is going to make you guys look good because you're promoting a small business during this time. Everyone wants to help small businesses right now. And the business is going to love it. So more than likely what's going to happen, the business is going to share it. But I would ask ahead of time anyway to make sure that they share it. And again, these are on BrandServe. You can customize them. So these are pictures that you can put of the business. You could put the business name, location, and what they are. And then you're hoping you want them to reshare your story so then they see your Instagram page. So then people start following you. But this is a great thing on what you can do either bi-weekly, you can do it once a month, however often as you want. And then as you're tagging that, that's what works with Instagram, especially when you tag something that's very popular. One of those businesses that are very popular, those can go huge. So hashtags on Instagram, these are huge. It's basically what Instagram is about. It's hashtags. And I get asked all the question, how do you properly use hashtags? So they're important because on Instagram, you can actually search hashtags. You guys should be searching hashtags before you post stuff. This is how you're going to be able to tell which hashtags to use. They'll tell you when you search a hashtag, how many people have been posting in it, how many people are following it. Those are what you want to find. Do that. And some of the great things, even with real estate, it's great to post about like the neighborhoods that you're in or cities that you're in. So people who can choose to follow a hashtag, which means that they can see your hashtag post in their newsfeed, even if they don't follow you yet. This can again help you with getting more followers. They're a great way of building community online, so people are motivated to engage with your brand. You can include up to 30 hashtags on a regular post, which I would not recommend that. Or up to 10 hashtags on a story. Okay, but here's something to keep. I gotta get rid of this. You can include more in your comment section or your caption. That said, though, just because you can use more hashtags and many hashtags doesn't mean that you should be using every single 30 hashtags. There's no right number. I would say typically the consensus is about 11 hashtags is a good number, but most common number says use between 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. I would definitely use more than 1 and 3. I would say a 10 to 11 is a good number but to use it. And look at what other people are posting. Look at other hashtags for other big followers that you have, or Coldwell Banker. Look at what they're using for hashtags for the real estate market. Those are get you ideas, but also you can search any hashtag if you're thinking about it. Search it and see what's trending. You can see the trending of anything, and then use that. Use that as an advantage to look at what to post, to look at ideas to post. That's how you're going to want to do it because people follow these high-end hashtags, not high-end, but high follower hashtags. So here are some options. I totally spelled real estate wrong. That's supposed to be real estate right there. So insert your neighborhood as a hashtag. You see that there's a ton of different options here. Coldwell Banker does a lot more with CB. You'll see that that's a big one out there. Coldwell Banker, you could put luxury homes, luxury real estate, obviously the city like Fort Lauderdale, waterfront homes. Fort Lauderdale Beach, or even beaches, open house, and then of course amenities like restaurants, coffee shops. Those are always big to do. Like I said, those were big before this pandemic. That was always very popular to do on Instagram, and they're even bigger now. So the more, again, look for those, search it before you post so you can see what's trending. Okay, so this is a huge one. So this is convert your sales into leads. So what I see all the time is agents all the time putting just sold up, just sold, which I get it. That's what else you're supposed to do. Well, here's a great idea, okay? So rather than doing just sold post and having the typical just sold post, here's where you can kind of get a little bit out of the box. So this is where I say is rather than doing that is go do a Facebook Live in front of the property that's sold. So every time you sell a property, you have the opportunity to convert that one sale into additional transactions throughout that same neighborhood, especially in a hot market. So after you close, you would stand in front of the property and create a Facebook Live video. So you see that I show this picture because she has a selfie stick. This is a selfie stick allows for you guys to have more control. So if you guys if you don't have a selfie stick, I say get a selfie stick. Now, somebody told me recently that there's this high-end selfie stick that's like 300. I'm not saying go that crazy. If you want to, that's up to you. But I'm saying the typical traditional selfie stick. What it does is it stabilizes the camera. It allows for you to, like, when you're holding a camera, like holding it like this, you're bound to drop it. It's fumbly, it's wobbly. The selfie stick will keep it stable. Have the selfie stick. And then what you can do is there's an app. There's even apps out there called Teleprompter. There's other ones too, but it gives you the idea where you basically can put scripts in there of what you want to say. So before, like, just have an idea. Even if you did bullets, you could put that in the teleprompter. So then you actually have a guideline of what you're going to say. So you're not fumbling. And then it looks like when you're looking at the camera, you're reading it, but it looks like you're looking right at the camera. So they don't know you're reading something. So that's how I would set it up. And then the idea would go is once you have all that in place and you're standing in front of your property, here's a typical script. It would go something like this. Say, hey, it's Lauren Johnson with Coldwell Banker. I'm standing in front of whatever, 401 Ocean Drive. We just sold this property and closed. And you know what? The sellers are elated, but we've got a problem. We actually had over 3,000 people look at this home online and we had 127 potential buyers. Now, guys, these are numbers. These are marketing numbers. You use whatever numbers you want, obviously. And guess what? We had 8 different offers. The challenge now is we've got one very happy new neighbor, but I have 7 other buyers desperate to find a home in this community. So what is this telling? It's telling people that I have buyers. I have buyers available right now. So if you or someone you know has an interest or thoughts of selling now or in the near future, would you let me know? Send me a private message, call me at blah, blah, and allow me to have my buyers come and look at your home right away. So then what you do with this is after you finish this video, you boost that to the entire neighborhood. This is what I mean by it. If you join one of those groups in Facebook, okay, you now have the ability, if you join a group, you can advertise to that group. You can target a group in that neighborhood. So a lot of those neighborhoods, they have their own pages. Look at those. This is the benefit with Facebook that does not have on any other social media. This approach will help you gain awareness in the neighborhood, demonstrate your ability to get homes sold, and get the homeowners to signal their intent to move. This is another just out of the box idea rather than just posting your typical just solds. Another way, and I'm telling you guys, video is huge. I repeat this constantly because it is so big right now. And if this was big before the pandemic, it's even bigger now. You guys have to get comfortable in front of the camera. And I know everyone says that they sound funny. Well, you know, you're the only ones who think that you sound funny. Okay, nobody else, to everybody else, you sound normal. Get comfortable in front of the camera. I'm telling you guys, do video. You've got to do it because what's trending now is on social media. It's not about the likes anymore. It's not about who likes your page. It's a video. And what you don't even have to have anyone like the video. All they have to do is watch a little bit of it and you will start going higher. So if I have a video that's 10 minutes long, somebody watches 5 minutes of it, I'm going to go higher. Somebody watches closer to 10 minutes, I'm going to go higher in the news feed. That's what it's about now. And you can post that video everywhere. Once I did this video on the sold property, I can now share that across all of my social media channels. I could target that neighborhood on Facebook, and now I can even blast that out on my email. That's how I would do these, showing those videos like that. So here's another thing, YouTube retargeting. I know I'm flying through this. I'm trying to leave enough time for questions. And I can share this thing, so I don't want you guys to frantically go. This is recorded, so I'll share the recording, and I can also share the slide deck with you guys. You guys just know that you could have that. YouTube retargeting. So this is going to tell you, this is basically where do people start the process of selling their home, usually on Google, right? They're searching where to find things. So imagine being able to get in front of every person who conducts a Google search for your home values in your farm area. This is what YouTube retargeting allows. It's insane. Google will actually allow you to advertise to people on YouTube based on their Google search history. This is insane, guys. I mean, this is huge. So after they've searched for something related to real estate, you can serve them a video ad before they watch their next YouTube video. That's that annoying thing that comes up that everyone says on the YouTube videos. They wonder why another ad pops up. This is what it is. This is what you could be doing. But this is huge because there's no other media out there that's allowing you to get in front of people who are searching for you right now in that area. So this is how it works. Okay, so you create a new video campaign within your Google Ads account. Then you pick brand awareness and reach. So you choose whatever campaign objective you're looking to achieve. Be sure for the second option to choose video. So you could pick, I would say pick the brand awareness one, or you could even do website, but I would say do the brand awareness. Then you can go to video as your next option. Then you'll want to click what are they actively researching and planning. So once you've progressed to the next step in the campaign, create process. Once you've arrived towards your audience segment, be sure to choose new custom intent audience. Okay, then here is where you actually get to put in like keywords. So here's where you could say, okay, Fort Lauderdale real estate they look for, Fort Lauderdale home. And you see they have this keyword planner, which actually when you search in there, it basically gives you even ideas for keywords. But this is where then you could start targeting based on keywords. This is huge. I mean, this would be, if I was doing ads, if I was putting money into anything, I would be putting in digital. This is where everybody is, guys. So this is huge. Like I said, this is where then you could actually put in, you see here, I get 50 keywords in here I could do. 50 keywords I could put in for all different types of things that I could target. This is like insane. So just, I mean, this is another way, and I don't see any agents doing this. None are doing this. This is where you could really differentiate yourself. And this is where you're getting out of the box with the typical just sold, just listed. This is where people are. We all know everyone's online, and this is a great way to capture them. And again, you've got to do it with videos. Videos are huge. Did I tell you that? Videos are huge. So again, I can share this again at the end. Just know it's called YouTube retargeting. You do it with the Google Ads. So virtual open houses. This is another way. Okay, virtual open houses. This is getting huge right now too. This is the most popular because a lot of people don't want to go to the types. So this is where people, a lot of agents I'm seeing them doing across, especially Facebook Lives allow you to do this. The idea is they're scheduled and they're promoted in advance. That's a huge, huge thing right there. Okay, it's promoted in advance. So when I see a lot of problems now with agents and who have come to me is they're not giving themselves enough time to promote this. So still give yourself the same amount of time as you would an in-person open house. Even though it's virtual, you still need to give yourself enough time to promote it. Okay, I had one agent come to me on a Thursday and they told me they were running an open house on a Saturday. And I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, you're not giving yourself enough time. I would say at least, what, like a week? You probably advertise a week. Give yourself a week to do this. And the great thing is we'll talk about this with Facebook, is they allow for you to do an actual page. The page itself, you can promote across all your social media channels. Okay, typically they're very casual. The agent's basically the host. They're shorter. Okay, they're not going to be your 3 to 4 hour open house because you're online, so your video can't hold that long. The listing agent begins by giving a tour of the property, then answering live questions. So this is a great way, even if you're in the neighborhood. This is where you could start out on the street, walking the neighborhood street to show them what the neighborhood looked like. Then you go into the house. I mean, right there, that would take you probably 20, 30 minutes. But here's the key is remember to have that teleprompter, because here's the thing that you guys don't realize. Here's where you're skilled at, that you don't realize is a skill, is pointing out the key features of a home. Okay, those things that I've heard a lot of you talk about homes, these are things that people don't typically look at and they don't know. So point out those key features that you know. That's what's going to make you sound unique and also sound knowledgeable as well. So they're ideal for early to mid-stage buyers who are ready to start comparing homes. They're people who want to remain safe. And I've been hearing a lot of agents say that their sellers are requesting this. So you guys got to get comfortable with this stuff. Obviously, if you have somebody to help you shoot it, have someone help you shoot the video. If not, use that selfie stick. It's a smart way for listing agents to satisfy their sellers. Like I said, the sellers are requesting this now. I've had at least 5 agents come to me in the last month saying their sellers requesting this and they're freaking out because they got to do a virtual open house. Do it, guys. It's not as complicated as you think. So here's where you choose the platform. You have 2 different ways to host a virtual open house, but both require that you have access to either a smartphone or a quality camera. You have the interactive live open house version. Okay, so that's where you have the Facebook Live, Instagram offers it. You're basically live and you're going through it. The pro is you get the real-time aspect. It allows for natural engagement with potential buyers. It's very close to an open house, a traditional open house. The con is if the agents are not used to being on camera, it might be difficult and abrupt, the live factor. I mean, I had one agent, she told me she went to a virtual open house, she was walking around, she tripped. Her tripping generated more commentary and more people were happy that she actually tripped because it showed that she was human. I know it sounds horrible, but we are human and we want to connect and we want to know that you guys are human. And that's how we're going to relate to you. And so that's what people are looking for, is that connection. So I say go live, but you do have the option of doing static videos too. So the benefit with the static videos allows for a more controlled environment. You could think it out. You can kind of plan your editing, highlight specific home amenities, and allows the agent to not be on camera to navigate the space in a less stressful manner. So if you're not used to being on camera, this is another way to go. But I say just do it, guys. Don't overthink it so much. But it doesn't allow for comments down the line. So static videos don't allow for real-time audience and engagement. And that's where I think it needs to happen. That's the live audience is huge. So get comfortable. And what I say is have that teleprompter app on your phone. This is where then you could put key bullets that you're going to go over during the walkthrough so you don't miss anything. And it looks like you're looking at the phone, but then you're not missing anything if you're getting nervous. But I tell you guys, you got to get comfortable with being on video. I'm going to tell you 100 times. So here are some typical open houses once they promote them. Okay, so once you decide on a platform, you want to plan and advertise across the media. So the great thing is with Facebook, hitting this thing on the bottom. The great thing with Facebook is they let you create an event page. Now, basically, it's almost like a actual landing page already set up for you, because you could say if they're interested, if they're going, or if you're not going. Once you have that page set up, you now have a link to promote that page out. And that's what you should be doing. Once you have the event page set up, then you promote that you're going to be live. And here are some typical graphics of some agents in my area that did this. Okay, so it was simple as just like, win more reserve, join us for a virtual open house. Tells the time, the date, that's it. Then you also have join me Facebook Live. This is where then you can email blast this out. You can share this on other social medias to let people know that you're going to have this. Okay, and you have flyers, social media posts, website, email you could post these on. Okay, then you have them, then basically you go live. So if I have time, I hope I have time, I can go on Facebook and show you basically how you create the event page. Okay, and then how you go live. So it's hard to show on desktop, because on the phone it's a lot easier. If you actually, it says live and you go live. So there's 2 options though to think about though when you go live. There's an exclusive one-time video and then there's posted live videos. So the one-time video allows for the one time. Basically, it's whoever was on that event got to see that video, which I would say don't do that, because what would be the point of that? But basically, you share a link to your live event. It's at the end of the video, you choose not to publish it on your profile. So I don't know why anyone would do that unless you're trying to be very secretive or you don't want people to come. But the posted live video is where you can save this and post this on your event page. You could post it on your business page. You now can share this too on emails. So this will keep it of people who couldn't make it to the event, they can at least find it on your business page. That's what I would recommend to do. They can watch it afterwards and they can even read comments that were happening during the live stream. So the hosting, so the Facebook Live. So you could do a quick live stream of the house an hour before the actual open house starts. Invite people watching the live stream to come check out the open house. Make sure you mention the address, obviously, of the property and the timing for your open house multiple times when you're live. Okay, this is just a reminder of saying, hey, I'm going to be live. Come and check this out. It's beautiful, amazing property, blah, blah, blah. So before going live at your open house, make sure that you create an event page. This is the Facebook event page that I'm talking about. It allows for you to highlight the date and time of your open house to potential home buyers looking for something similar in your area. This is where you could promote your live stream on social media channels grab that event link, and you can even reverse prospect on the MLS. So make sure you hit the buyer agents. Okay, and there's even another agent here. She's doing it like broker events. She's doing Facebook broker events where it's only like high-end luxury brokers she's inviting. And she's saying she's only going to invite 10. And she literally only invites 10 into this broker, and it's a Facebook Live. So know that these are different ways that you can get out there. Okay, these are different ways of helping yourself get out there and become that knowledgeable realtor. So the more, that's what I'm saying, the more that you can do stuff on video, this is where people are connecting, guys, because we're missing it. We've been in lockdown and people are missing that human interaction. And we're meant to connect with other people. And this is what they want to see. They want to see the more real, and the more raw your video is, the more that it's being successful and the more that it's trending. So some ideas here, we're saying, okay, if you go live, you can answer questions. So if maybe you don't have a listing and you want to try and do this, you can still go live. Like there's an agent here, he does something like, you could say every Tuesday. I think he does like Tuesdays with Gary, and he basically hosts an event every Tuesday. He brings in our RVP, Nancy. He'll have her come on and talk about the market update. You guys can have your managers come on and talk about, or your RVP and talk about the market. You can invite other people. Like he had his marketing guy come on one time and talk about the importance of copywriting. I mean, you guys can have whatever you want. Maybe feature a small business, have them go live and you feature the small business. Like that would be huge too, because then they're going to show that. They're going to hopefully re-promote that on their Facebook as well. So you can even have a Q&A session on Facebook Live to promote the event strategically instead of going live, wishing everyone hops onto your live stream. Plan and schedule your live streams. You can start it once a week. Like I said, you can have like every Tuesday with Lauren or something. Make sure you post about your upcoming live stream. So again, you got to still promote just like you would any other event. It just seems like it's different because it's online, but you still got to promote it to make sure that they at least log in. Instagram posts. So you would put lots of hashtags to attract the right audience in your area. So that would be the city, the neighborhood, those types of things. And then you can also run a Facebook ad campaign targeting home buyers and sellers for your upcoming live stream. You could direct them to your landing page and send out an email blast to all registrants right before you begin. Okay, but so you guys, with the Facebook ads, though, you got to be doing those with that pixel in mind. If you don't know what a pixel is, don't be running Facebook ads, because that pixel is going to help your ad get out there, exposed more. Okay, so other things are a neighborhood tour. This is, again, if you don't have a listing or you're not promoting any kind of open house, you could basically start a neighborhood, talk about the neighborhood, talk about what's happening. You could talk about what's happening in the market so people see that you're the local realtor to go to. Talk about the new restaurant that's opening up down the street, or talk about the new dog park that opened up, or anything like that. You know, I had an agent in Parkland. She'd never blogged before. She did one blog, and it was about a local beauty salon that opened up in the area. That thing got so much traction that the beauty salon reached out to her and offered her free things because of that. That's what I'm saying, is even if you talk about that online, maybe you get them as a guest speaker. People want to get out there. People are more than willing to talk. Do a section talking about the neighborhood for potential home buyers. And then what you can do is then target those community groups that are out there. You know, when you're talking about that neighborhood, go and target that. You can even take that video and target on Nextdoor. That type of thing. It's just, you know, think out of the box with this targeting. Is just, it's now changing where everything was all out in print and everything. I'm not saying that print doesn't work, but now everybody's online, and these are ways and ideas to capture them and get online with them. You know, the Facebook live stream, this is where you could set up your camera, do a live stream of just answering questions. Say, hey, I'm gonna be live from 2 to 3. Ask me any real estate questions that you have. And then now this is going to show that you're the knowledgeable realtor to go to. People can ask whether they should sell their home right now or anything related to real estate in general. It's the power of Facebook Live, guys. This is basically where you're getting your own TV show. And you know, and you can do it as often as you want. Like I said, there's one thing he does it every Tuesday of Gary it becomes, but maybe you do it once a month or whatever it is. But now you basically have this ability to get in front of people. And I'm telling you guys, Facebook is still the leading of who's on this platform. So before you make sure you brand and promote those shows before they are live, that you have people attending them. That's always the hugest, the marketing. It's the marketing leading up to these events is what's going to be successful on these. So here's a typical Facebook event. This is what it looks like. This is the page that you get. It looks just like this. So you see that it says interested, going. this is where you basically get this link to this page. And here, I'm actually going to go show you. I got a few minutes here. I'm going to show you then how you do this live event. So you see how easy it is. Okay, here. So how you start it. First, you set up the event page. Okay. So go to your business page. Okay, so if you go to your business page, you go right here. Under your
page, the whole thing says the bottom is cut off. Bottom quarter.
Can you see it now?
No, I'm saying the bottom quarter is the people, pictures of people looking at the stuff instead of being able to see the whole page. Anyways.
Where you may have to minimize the window.
Usually you are just a little corner picture, but right now the quarter bottom of my page is all pictures of other people that are in the group, which is fine, but I'd rather see.
You just have to minimize that. That's on your personal one. You have to minimize
all right
that little group.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
That's correct.
So here, right under create post, you have create event. This is right where you go to set this up. Okay, it's going to be online, so I select the online one. Now I put whatever the event name, so I could say virtual open house. You pick the start date. So here, if I say it's a week out, the time, whatever it is, 1 o'clock. It's public, and then here I could say, join me as I tour this beautiful property at, and I would even put at 1, 2, 3 somewhere. 5. Get the idea. Basically giving them all the descriptions here. Okay, your category is home. I think that's all of the options you have. And then now you hit next. They keep changing this. Every time I go in here, this is different. So now you see it's going to be a schedule Facebook Live for your event so people can watch. This is where you could do, or you can add a link so people know where to go when your event starts. So you could do it either way. Okay, I would say if you want the link, this allows for you then to promote this on out to other areas. So you see that here is where you, this is if you had an actual page. So here, the Facebook Live will be somewhere. Then you hit next. It's free, next. And then here's where basically you can upload the property. Here, I don't have any pictures, but this would be then you could upload even a video here or a property of the house, a photo of the house, and then you would hit create event. So now you see, I just got this page. So this is my whole event page. I have this link now. I can copy this link and share this out. So you know that anytime you share a link, you can hide all this ugliness. So you could just say Facebook Live event and then hide that under the link in your In Touch or anywhere else. So now I have this page, or basically I can have where people are going to say if they're going to come. I can invite people from here. If you invite people, let me see, because they keep changing this on me. I hear that. I'm sorry, my computer is like dying. Here's share event. You could even share it out on your pages. See how it says share to a page, share to a group. This is if you belong to some of those neighborhood groups, it allows for you to share right into those groups. This is where you can start searching them. See, search group. So even like say Caldwell Banker, Southeast First to Know or whatever, you can start putting that. I don't have mine's not coming up. Because I'm under this, I'm under my page. I don't have any likes on I haven't liked any groups through my page. This is where you get the link to the event. So see, they shorten it. So you don't have to grab that ugly link up here, but still, I would still hide it. It's still ugly. If you wanted to add co-hosts for your event, you could add co-hosts here. So if you have somebody else doing it with you, you can add it. You can add an event photo. Basically give you everything here to do. this now becomes the one I share. And then once you're ready is like to go live. So see if I set that up and I lost it, say I got out of Facebook and I'm like, where did that go? All you have to do is go back to your business page, just hit events, and that event should be in here. Here it is. See my virtual open house, it's here. So here I can even boost the event. I could share it right from here. Now I have a way that I could share this. I could share on a page, I could share in a group. This is where you want to promote then the event. And then outside of Facebook, you want to grab that link, but then you share that on your email. And then you see, once I go in here, if I go into this event, once I'm ready to go live, it even tells you set up live video. I wouldn't do this on your desktop because the desktop is way more complicated looking than on your phone. It's way easier. So go on your phone once you're ready to go live, and it's literally on your phone. You see under your posts, this gives you all these options. When you're on your phone, you don't have all these options. It literally looks here. Let me get out of this. It's confusing. I say don't do it that way because it asks you. They don't ask you all this on your phone. Here, if you go back on your business page, once you're ready to go live, just go back on your business page and go right where you would normally post, and you see I have that create live option. Okay, when I'm on my phone, I hit that live. It's basically going to ask you to connect your camera. You just got to make sure you got your cameras connected. Before, try to just go live. Like you can hit go live now, even if you don't have an event, just to test your camera. So you want to make sure that that's getting tested before you even do that. Okay, now I know I just threw a bunch of stuff at you guys. So what questions? Cindy's nodding. Yes, you did. So what questions do you have?
The question, Lauren, you said that we could hide the link, the ugly link. What do we want to hide it behind?
So like you could write, here, let me see, do I still have my desktop sharing? Yes. Okay, so say if I was like an InTouch and I want to send this out in an email box. So here, I'm going to try to just pull up a design I already did. Actually, you know what you guys can do is take off this print and literally type in virtual, because they have templates in here now for this. You can literally type in virtual open house. And they have some already. These are ones I already did. Here, virtual open house. So if I had this template, this is where I would hide it. So the virtual open house, there's templates on this, and they basically have it already available that you could put a meeting link in here.
Okay.
So here, it would have your whole property, all this information, and then here is what I would do. So all you would need to do, like say, for example, I could say register for my virtual open house, or whatever you want to say. Right. Virtual open house registration, or however you want to say it, virtual open house.
Yeah.
Then obviously that would be better. So then all I would do is that link now is copied. You highlight however you want to do that, and then hit that link, and then paste that ugly Facebook thing in there, and then hit OK. So I would do it like that. And I always say, do always target new window. That means that whatever they're looking at, they don't leave yours. They always open up a new window.
Another question. All right, so you're putting in the register for my virtual open house. Do they have to register to be able to access that?
No, they don't have to register to access it, but they're going to be notified when you're live. So if they don't register, or if they don't say that they're going to that event, they won't be alerted when you're live. Does that make sense?
It doesn't
like
make sense. So how
get a reminder. They'll get a reminder. So like if you never notice, like on any Facebook event that you ever said that you were going, like you'll be reminded by Facebook that event's coming up.
Do they have a set time? Is it usually like an hour before or a day before? Do you know?
That Facebook alerts you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. I think it's the day of.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
But test it. Like you guys can create, this is what I mean, guys, is you guys can create this. Like I just created that. I didn't invite anyone. So test it and invite like your friends or just do it for yourself and see how it works so that you guys get comfortable. But it's more just the platform just looks scary, I think, and the concept looks more scary than what it is. Daryl, did you have a question?
Yeah, when placing Facebook ads, I kind of run into trouble sometimes because of the new with the housing discrimination law. They don't want you to segment out different groups. So is there a general rule? Like when I want to try to put income level, they won't let me put income level. If I want to put in, just say a demographic area, there's little roadblocks along the way.
Yeah, so unfortunately, FREC has changed the laws for real estate recently with those ads. So now what you have to do is there's a special ad category that's literally on the first page when you're starting an ad that you have to hit that on and say that you're with housing. Once you select housing, because your ad will not get approved until you do that. Once you select that you're with housing, you'll see a lot of those options are not available anymore. So you can't put in zip codes, for example, but you could put in city, or you can drop a pin on the map. Like there's definitely ways to get around it, but they've hindered it for sure a lot. Like back when I was used to do them, I used to be able to do income level. That's not even an option now. You can't even do income level at all. But you could do more like interest, for example. This is why I say is with you're going to do those ads, you got to make sure that you're being as clear as you can in that ad. Don't be general. Like if it's $1 million property, I would be like 900s, come and get you can make it more marketing appealing, but you don't want to make it so thrown off that you're getting people who can't afford that property.
Okay.
So you could do like interest and behavior. So there's stuff like luxury real estate you could put in, luxury vehicles, for example, or if it's on the water, you could put stuff in like boating or yachting, those type of things. But they have, unfortunately for real estate, I don't know why, but FREC came down with laws that it's really hindered the selections on those ads a lot.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions you guys have? I don't know, is there anything in the chat? I didn't even look. Okay, wait. Can you mention the name of the program again? What program? I don't know which one I mentioned. What program was that? Was that the app? I'm not sure what program. The drip campaign, yes, that's like the monthly newsletter. So a drip campaign, though, I look at drip campaigns a little bit differently. Like a monthly newsletter is just like an email campaign to me. A drip campaign for me in a marketing world would be more where you're trying to entice them along the way. So for example, a buyer drip campaign, I actually had an example because I had a whole thing. So for a buyer drip campaign, probably I would probably maybe do 7 to 8 emails in this campaign. And then what some of the options could be is, say, for example, you're starting with the first campaign. The first campaign would probably be something about me, like why would they go to me or my experience. I have a whole thing written down, all these buyer leads. So here, I should probably send this all out to you guys. So for example, maybe you talk about for buyer drip campaigns, you send them, first you talk about yourself. Why should they work with you? Maybe talk about your experience level or something. Then maybe you want to talk about the latest homes that maybe if you have a bunch of listings, you could talk about your listings that you have available. Or if you don't, then talk about latest homes of a certain area that you know that they're interested in. Send them that. Send them the latest homes for sale. You can even talk about noteworthy listings in your area. So some like home styles that are unique, any characteristics that distinguish those properties. It's again where you guys have that advantage where you know those things that are very easy for you, but most people don't. Another email, so this would be like maybe the third one would be like the housing market data for recent months. You can include like what are the mortgage rates happening right now? What are the home price values, property sales, type of information. So this gives the clear market status type of thing. So that again, that shows you're knowledgeable about this market. The next email, maybe we would talk about your favorite aspects of that community or that neighborhood. So maybe what are your favorite restaurants in that neighborhood, or what are some events that happen, or retail stores, that type of thing. The next one would be why people love living in that particular neighborhood. You know, maybe share former clients, or maybe you talk about some neighbors or some residents from that neighborhood. And then maybe the next one is maybe an in-depth buyer resource. So this is where you can send them maybe a buyer's guide type thing and offer that to them. You know, maybe maybe the next one is buyer testimonials. Talk about buyers who've sold or you've helped buy homes. You know, what do they have to say? That type of thing. So that's what I'm talking about, drip campaign. So it's basically like things that you're proving why they go with you. And then the same with the seller. So the seller would be a little bit different. This is where you could talk about stats on the latest homes that are sold nearby. You know, maybe that's one email. Then maybe you talk about info on listings that you've sold in the recent past in that neighborhood. You know, if you're really farming an area that you're really popular in, you know, or you've sold a bunch of homes, and like talk about that. So I have sold 10 homes in that community, or whatever it is. Then maybe the next campaign is a blog post featuring home seller tips type things. And they could be anything about talking about staging. You know, maybe they talk about Real Vitalize as one campaign. So that type of thing is what I'm talking about, is where you're basically selling yourself on a drip. Okay, it's like you're doing it in short little things. So you're not giving them everything on one email. You're spreading it out. That's why they call it like a drip campaign. It's like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, that type of thing.
Lauren?
Yes.
I think people are asking about the app. It's the teleprompter app.
Teleprompter app. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, teleprompter. I always forget the name of that. And there's a few of them.
Is that the name of the app?
Yeah, there is one called teleprompter. It's literally called teleprompter. And there's a few more that do the same thing. They're just called different. But yeah, teleprompter literally lets you, it's like the actors use or news people use, where you just can put whatever you want and you're reading it, and it looks like you're looking right at the camera. They can't tell the difference. Right? That's what I'm doing now. No, I'm just kidding. You're welcome. Yes, I will provide a copy of this presentation. Do I have to choose my audience if just practicing? No. So if you don't invite anyone, don't invite anybody to your event. They won't. I mean, just be careful, because I just did one in a class the other day and I forgot it was there, and somebody actually said they were going, which I was like, oh my God. So just be aware of that, because people that will find it, because they can search it it'll pull up in the Facebook events page. So just be aware of that. But if you do it really quickly, like if you do it the day of and then you test it, I'm sure nobody's going to see it or go to it. Thank you, Jim. Yep, teleprompter, that was it. No, I think they're all the same as far as she says. Natalie says, is there one teleprompter better than the other? No, I mean, it's all the same. They really just do the same thing for you. They basically just let you write your script and read it. So whatever you're comfortable with. Are we going to be seeing something other than the virtual open house flyer? I mean, I really was just showing the link. You can hide the link in any of those email templates that are in marketing and in touch in the marketing center. So it doesn't matter whichever one you want to use. I was just showing you how to hide the link. So here, I know we're tight on time. I actually have a meeting I have to run to, but I'm going to put my email in here. Oh, somebody posted the teleprompter. There it is. There's the teleprompter, guys. Thank you. Who did that? Patrick, you're amazing. Thank you. He posted it for you guys exactly there. Okay, that's my email. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. I know I blasted a lot at you. I will have the recording. I will put it in the chat so you guys can go back and digest. I'm sorry, I don't normally try to rush all this, but I'm tight on time today. And those who've taken my class, you know I talk a lot anyway. I talk fast, so sorry. But feel free to reach out. If you guys want to run something by me, you want me to be your help for the virtual open house, I'll be more than happy to do it. My schedule is a little crazy, but I will try my best to help you out in any way that I can. Thank you guys. Thank you for the great compliments. I appreciate it. Just get out there and try, guys. That's all I say is just get out there and try. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. Don't be afraid to try. You're not going to break anything. And I'm telling you, the more that people see how real you are, the more they're connecting with you. Okay, so don't think that you have to be perfect. We are all not perfect. We're all human. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the interaction. We want to see how you're human. All right. So I appreciate it, guys. You all are amazing. I love you guys. I love you guys. And just get out there and do it. Promise you. Please do it. I have faith in you. You could do it. Cindy,
Thank you, Lauren.
You're going to do it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.